You just became a manager and you're freaking out. I get it. Here's what nobody tells you. Becoming a manager is like going from being the star player to suddenly being the coach. The skills that made you great at your job, they're now only a small part of what you need. And if you don't figure out the rest in your first 90 days, you will either burn out, lose your team's respect, or become the boss that everyone hates. But here's the good news. After helping hundreds of new managers, I discovered something amazing. The managers who succeed all follow the same 5-step plan in their first 90 days. It's like a secret playbook that nobody talks about. So today, I'm giving you the complete survival guide. Not the boring stuff that you've heard before, but the real plan that actually works when you're drowning in your new job. I'm Revati, and I've spent years helping people like you turn from nervous new managers into confident leaders. Let's dive in. Phase 1, day 1 to 15. Fix your mindset first. Here's the first big surprise. Your first job as a new manager isn't to manage your team, it's to manage yourself. Think about it this way. You got promoted because you were really good at doing your work. But now, your success isn't about how well you work. It's about how well you help others work. This change is so big that most new managers spend their first month trying to prove they deserve the promotion by working even harder. That's a wrong move. Here's what you need to do instead in your first 15 days. I call it the 3 important talks. The first is to have a talk with yourself. Write down 2 lists. Why I got promoted, what my job actually needs now. Sarah, one of my clients, realized she got promoted for being great with computers, but her new job was mostly about helping people and planning ahead. Things she'd never really learned. Second, talk to your boss. But don't just ask, what should I do? That's too basic. Instead, ask these 3 powerful questions. What does amazing look like in this job after 90 days? What mistakes do new managers usually make here? And what's the one thing that if I mess up, nothing else matters? The third talk to each person on your team. But here's the key. Don't start by telling them your big plans. Start by asking what's already working well that we should keep. This shows them that you respect what they have built before you try to change things. Phase 2, 16 to 30 days. Build trust fast. Here's where most new managers mess up badly. They think their team will trust them if they show how smart they are. Nope. Trust comes from being consistent and honest, and you have 2 weeks to build that foundation. So use what I call the 2-3-5 rule. Create 2 weekly routines that never change. Your team needs to know that some things stay the same even when everything else is changing. Get 3 quick wins for your team. Not for the company, for your team. Fix that annoying thing everyone complains about. Get them the supplies they've been asking for. Cancel that pointless meeting everyone hates. One manager I worked with found out her team spent 3 hours every week on a report that nobody read. She cancelled it. Instant hero. Have 5 honest conversations where you admit you don't know something. I know it feels scary to say I don't have all the answers as a new boss. But here's the secret. Saying I don't know everything, but I'll figure it out along with you makes people trust you more than pretending that you know everything. Phase 3, days 31 to 45. Learn to let go. Around day 31, you'll feel like you're really drowning. You're trying to do your old job, your new job, and help everybody else with their jobs. You're working crazy hours and still falling behind. This is when you must learn to delegate, to give work to others. But delegation isn't just about dumping your work on others. It's smart sharing. Here's a simple way to decide what to delegate. Draw a square and divide it into 4 boxes. On one side, write important and not important. On the other side, write helps team grow, doesn't help team grow. Important plus helps team grow, do it together first, then let them take over. Important but doesn't help the team to grow, keep doing it yourself for now. Not important but helps the team grow. Perfect to delegate right away. Not important and doesn't help the team grow, Either stop doing it or find a shortcut. Here's the magic trick. When you delegate, don't say, I need help with this. Say, I think you're ready for the bigger challenges. Make it about their growth, not your workload. One person I coached went from working 65 hours a week to 45 hours in just 2 weeks using this method. Her team actually thanked her for giving them more interesting work. Phase 4, days 46 to 75. Build your systems. Now, you stop putting out fires and start preventing them. You need 3 simple systems. The decision system. Write down who decides what. What can the team decide without you? What needs your approval? What needs your boss's approval? Share this list with everyone. Nothing kills a team faster than not knowing who can make decisions. The communication system. Create simple rules for how to communicate. What's an emergency that needs a phone call? What goes in an email? What can wait until the weekly meeting? I like the 2-hour rule. If waiting can cause more than 2 hours of problems, handle it now. Everything else follows the system. The growth system. By day 60, know what each team member wants to learn. Not a boring yearly review, a real plan. What skills are they building? What do they want to do next in their career? When you care about their future, they care about your success. Phase 5 is day 76 to 90, become the leader. Now, here's the truth. By day 76, you're not becoming a manager anymore. You either are one or you aren't. This final phase locks in your identity as a leader. Stop thinking like a worker who has people reporting to them. Start thinking like a leader who has a team. What's the difference? A worker asks, how can I fix this? A leader asks, who on my team is the best person to handle this? I know this feels like a lot. You're probably thinking, Revati, this sounds great, but I'm barely surviving right now. Here's what I want you to remember. Every great manager you admire went through these same 90 days of confusion, self-doubt and change. The difference between those who made it and those who struggled, they had a plan. And now, you do too. The best part about this approach is you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. Each phase builds on the last one. When you manage yourself first, people respect you. When you build trust, delegation becomes easier. When you delegate well, you have the time to build systems. When systems work, you can focus on real leadership. Here's my challenge. Don't try to do everything at once. Start with phase 1. Fix your mindset. Have those 3 important talks this week. Just that one step will put you ahead of 90% of new managers who are trying to figure it out alone. Drop a comment with the key things you learned from this video. I read every single comment and I love seeing how different managers use these ideas. And if this helped you, please like and subscribe for more videos that turn work challenges into growth opportunities. Remember, your first 90 days don't determine your whole career as a manager, but they do point you in the right direction. You have the plan, you have what it takes. Now go and try it out, experiment and transform. Not just into a manager, but into the leader your team needs. Show up to learn, try it out and share what works.